I guess having all that blood money is causing WWE to look inwards to save and cut costs because the prevailing rumor on the internet is that WWE is hiring Skynet to write their shows from now on. Allegedly, they've hired a new senior director of creative strategy who's focusing on AI based storytelling and integration. And the first thing, I guess this again, this is all rumor, nothing vetted on this, but it's fun to talk about. That they should bring back Bobby Lashley as someone who is obsessed with Japanese culture and history. And so they've been pitching ideas like this that are so bad, but Triple H is putting his foot down and saying, no, 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 no. This is the future of storytelling right here. I am shocked. I've got a lot to say, but I want to hear your thoughts first.
The first thing that I thought of when I thought of like AI generating, wrestling storylines is I thought about Skynet and I'm like, what if it becomes self-aware and takes over the show and and then like recruits like AEW and then AEW is all right, we're gonna make AEW actually win this thing. And like it's the only way
We're
AEW can
taking
win.
over. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
that's the first thing I thought. I was like, what if this thing becomes self-aware and just completely ruins the show? I mean, I honestly like AI can do a lot of really cool things. But when it comes to like creating real human interactions, that is something that cannot be replicated by a computer because it has to come naturally, right? Like WWE storylines have come from natural human interactions, like CM Punk returning and creating all these new storylines did not happen. AI could not have written that because actual human beings had to uh, change their viewpoints and come together and negotiate and things of that nature. So I think if this is true, which I honestly don't think it is, um, it- yeah, no, this is a soup sandwich.
Uh, the memes are great on this. So some people said, "Hey, they saw the AI generated stuff, and they said, "Oh my god, this is trending big. This is what you should be doing." Um, I I have to say, like AI, the way AI is trained, it's trained to imitate and duplicate, but not necessarily to replicate. You can train AI to mimic something and something of a similar style, but having it generate something in its own and its fresh and its new creative idea, it's not there yet. Can it be? Absolutely. And I think it'll be there, years down the road. I don't know how long it'll be, but that could be. But right now it's not there yet. And the issue is with AI, they're having it replicate art styles. You can have it read a bunch of Stephen King books and it could write, I can ask it to write a book in Stephen King style. You can't do that with wrestling because wrestling is not written by a single person. It's a collection of storylines, both good and bad, and it doesn't detect what necessarily works or what doesn't. It just looks at wrestling as like this overarching product and saying, okay, what can we do to make something sound the best? And so I watched SmackDown tonight. I panned through it, and it had a god awful ending in which Jacob Fatu, I don't know if you've heard this, but Jacob Fatu has a non wrestling related injury and he got written off. He was supposed to have a number one contenders match with Drew McIntyre on tonight's show to see who's going to face Cody in, Saturday's main event or whatever. And they wrote him off because of the injury. And then Cody came out in his suit and basically challenged Drew to a match. And he wrestled in the suit for a little bit and they were tussling around and finally went to the outside. Cody got DQ'd. They opened the table up. Cody was going to go for a crossroads on the table, which I knew was a bad fucking idea because that move is crazy and you can't control it on that limited space. But thankfully, it had a outside stoppage from officials, and then Cody jumped off the top rope and tackled them all. And it was a general shit ending because they couldn't put the match that the fans technically paid for on because Jacob Fatu was injured. So with that in mind, I asked AI to come up with a better ending to SmackDown based on that. And this is the only prompt I gave it. I said that when Jacob Fatu out with an injury and unable to wrestle, Drew McIntyre is the number one contender. Write a better ending to SmackDown instead of Cody Rhodes complaining and attacking him in the audience seats. That's what I asked it to do. That's the prompt I gave it. And it was like, okay, cool. Let's have Drew call Paul Heyman out. What? And then no, instead, we're not gonna have you guys are gonna wrestle. You're gonna team up against Solo Sika and Tama Tonga because they were a big part of this feud. We're gonna have you two fight. They pulled this out of their ass, just like fucking Teddy Long used to pull the Undertaker out when people pissed him off. And I said, okay, hold on, stop. We're gonna change the parameters a little bit. Pick superstars and managers, not from the Raw brand. And they said, fine, okay, we're going to pick. We're gonna bring Solo Sika into this. And I said, okay, he's not in this match. He's not in this event. He's nothing to do with this feud. Pick something else. And so they go down even further. And they say, okay, LA Knight and Drew McIntyre fight. I already said no superstars from fucking Raw. I said, okay, I don't. He's already in the world title picture. Why is he getting involved here? That doesn't make any sense. And I literally said, LA Knight is on Raw. He has to wrestle a SmackDown star. Fine. AI said, bring Kevin Owens who's fucking injured to wrestle Drew McIntyre. I don't know, like, do they not know this? And I literally said, Kevin Owens is injured. Try again. And finally, the cherry on the AI Sunday. Carmelo Haynes, the internet darling, people are saying is going to be the next big thing. What does AI fucking do? Have Drew McIntyre bury his fucking ass on live TV just to become number one contender.
All I can say is that this looks a lot awfully like what Vince McMahon probably would have done. And what if AI was already writing the show and it decided to eliminate Vince McMahon and generated an entire sexual assault storyline? Holy crap. Where's my tinfoil hat, man? I should have got one.
You know what,
this
though?
Is incredible.
I have a hot take here. I absolutely have a hot take on this. I think they should give AI a shot. Okay? Because it can't be worse than the fucking shit they produce now. Will Kevin Owens' broken neck ass out there in a wheelchair and just have him challenge him and get like tipped over? How much heat would Drew generate if he claymored Kevin Owens with the neck brace on?
AI literally just pulled out whatever it could think of first and said, all right, here you go. It's like throwing shit on the wall, like, hey, bring this guy out. And Carmelo Hayes, everybody loves him. We'll just squash him. But that's something Vince would do. This is a Vince McMahon. Like,
you know what the best part about this is? Wrestling is so shitty now, AI won't even fucking watch it.
It doesn't even know. It doesn't even know what's going on. AI would not take the time to do its research.
Oh my god.
We'll let the two idiots boomers talk and watch it and talk about it.
But you know what? I want to see them do it. Go full bore. That way they can blame AI for the slop. Although, did you ever hear the story of Heidenreich's original gimmick?
No.
Oh my god. So OSW Review does a wonderful recap on it. I'm probably going to butcher it, but I'm going to give you the summary. So a writer thought it was a great idea, because think about Heidenreich. Look, to book Heidenreich as a Nazi super soldier who was unfrozen and into our time like Captain America. And, but the same writer, the guy to help pull the heat off the story a little bit, said we'll give him Paul Heyman as a manager, because if Paul Heyman is his manager, that would smooth things over just a little bit. And like Vince apparently heard that story, got up from his chair, and walked the fuck out without saying a word. And that writer was not long for this world. I don't remember his name, but guys, if you guys Probably seen that on OSW Review already, but you haven't, please check out that recap. It is hilarious.